What can I do for you, Doctor?
I want to learn more about everybody.
Thank you, Nurse Crane.
But you're Nurse Crane, I already know about you. What about you, other doctor?
Good evening, Doctor. I believe we're going to be working together.
Dr. Reid. Dr. Swansea informed us of your arrival, but I could not dare to believe we'd have such good fortune. Such an honor, sir.
Thank you. And you are?
I am Thoreau Strickland, Dr. Thoreau Strickland. I'm a great admirer of your work, Dr. Reid.
Thoreau Strickland. That's an interesting name.
Please, could you tell me something about yourself?
I'm a great admirer of your work concerning blood transfusion, Dr. Reid. I run my own experiments. I'm convinced it's the future.
Really? Well, tell me about your experiments.
I based my technique on my mentor's research. He helped me perfect my method. What is yours?
I'd rather not talk about it. For now, it's just theories and first approach. My process is purely experimental and unsuccessful.
As long as you're cautious and methodical, you may remain empty-handed, but you won't fail.
You're not the first one to warn me, but I am convinced knowledge is the main weapon against the ravages of this epidemic.
Yeah, or, violence and, and dealing with supernatural things. We'll see.
What made you choose to be a doctor?
I'm not ashamed to admit you and your work have inspired me. I am honored to have the opportunity to work by your side.
Well, thank you, Strickland.
It's always a pleasure to share scientific and medical knowledge with someone eager to learn. I'll be glad to help you if I can.
This epidemic may be the century's most terrible disaster, but I'm convinced that we, as doctors, are the only ones able to defeat it.
Unless I turn everybody into a vampire. But, it's probably not a 100% successful thing. That's usually how they justify stuff. It's like, not every person bitten by a vampire turns into one.
What do you think of Dr. Ackroyd's aversion to modern medical methods?
It's a shame he's so narrow-minded. Dr. Swansea taught me that science is about exploring uncharted territory. I'm convinced that's true.
With the influenza and all that's going on, you should put your differences aside, don't you think? Why is it so difficult to work together?
I believe that if Dr. Ackroyd had been the one to discover the transfusion process, he would be the first to recommend its use.
So you believe it's just a question of jealousy and pride?
Dr. Ackroyd is as proud as he is blinded by his obsolete concept of medical science.
He is very heated about that subject.
What can you tell me about the Pembroke?
Well, it has always been an honor to work with Dr. Swansea. But with your arrival, I can't think of a better opportunity to learn about blood transfusion.
You seem quite optimistic. It's a rare and precious attitude in these difficult times.
I'm convinced that this epidemic is a test of endurance and dedication for us men of science.
Questions remain about our capacity to resolve the situation.
True. Last summer, during the first wave of the epidemic, I used to joke with Milton about the extra work. We're not smiling now.
Well, maybe I'll be able to actually assist in the curing of this plague. That'd be nice. Just do some research of our own.
Do you need help with anything in particular?
Well, yes, maybe. I'm waiting for a batch of products I ordered for my personal research, yet my supplier seems to have vanished.
Do you want me to play the errand boy for you?
Oh no, Dr. Reid. But if you went personally to his shop, what with your reputation and all, he wouldn't dare to refuse the products I need.
I see. Well, give me the address, for I may pass by if I have time.
All right, missing ingredients, new investigation. Yeah, see, that's what we're talking to everybody for. We see, we can get missions, and if we do missions, we get hints, and if we get hints, we get more XP for different things, or other missions that will lead to XP.
Tell me more about your willingness to experiment with new medical techniques.
Harvey Fiddick is a patient suffering from a severe injury that could cripple him if not treated correctly. I'm convinced your blood transfusion technique could help him.
What is it you really want? To save him, or to prove your point?
Fair question. I want nothing but to save my patient, Dr. Reid. Especially since I know Mr. Fiddick's story.
Tell me about him.
Tell me Mr. Fiddick's story.
Our first diagnosis was compromised because Mr. Fiddick lied to us about the real origin of his injury. He first claimed it was an accident.
But why would he hide such crucial information from us?
Because he is a proud father, ashamed of putting his children at risk because of his own negligence.
Oh, so what did he do? Harvey's blaming himself for his injury. And the social circle for him is just the doctors. That's sad, but I guess he's in the hospital, so that's the only way it's gonna be.
This personal involvement could also appear to be a lack of impartiality. You must know that a good surgeon must remain neutral.
I agree. But that does not excuse Dr. Ackroyd's behavior, a man who did not even take time to converse with his patient.
Do you think keeping his distance was a mistake?
All I know is that I'm taking care of human beings with desires, hopes, and fears. Not some biological machine comprised of blood, bones, and flesh.
Like this guy a little bit. Okay. Well, we'll see what we can do to help you out.
Goodbye, Dr. Strickland.
We need to find more information. You see, I'm tempted partially to just rush upstairs and go to my office, but I see that there's like tons of different people that we can talk to. And if we look at the citizens list for this area, we still have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 different people to chat with who we haven't met, and then a couple of people who we need to chat with, like Gwyneth and Harvey, that we know of at least. And I'm afraid that if I just walk away, a lot of our missions are gonna kind of fail. I don't like that risk. And so I'm gonna keep on chatting with all these people.
Good evening, sir. I'm Dr. Reid. May I help you?
I don't know if a third opinion is needed. Your colleagues are already arguing about my condition.
I see. Would you mind telling me more about your situation?
I'm Harvey Fiddick. All I want is to get me bloody arm fixed properly.
Well, I mean, we're not gonna get your arm fixed unless you tell me what exactly the problem is.
Tell me about yourself, Mr. Fiddick.
I'm just a regular guy waiting to get his arm fixed, so I can return to work and to my family.
I was more curious about what you were doing before being hospitalized.
I'm a carpenter, and a good one too. But that means I need both arms to feed my family, Dr. Reid.
Tell me about the doctors who are arguing about your case.
Strickland and Ackroyd. They both want the best for me, but there's a lot of pride there. Doctors are no different from carpenters, it seems.
What do you mean?
I often had professional arguments with rivals on a building site. Difference is I disagreed about wooden nails, not flesh and bones.
Well, yeah, both things are good to worry about. You don't want to have a shoddy job and have everything crumbling down, either in a building or in a human body.
Are you satisfied with your treatment here?
Well, it's clear that I've chosen a bad time to be injured. Forgive my bluntness, but you seem overwhelmed by cases of the flu.
I won't lie to you about it. I'm afraid we are.
Are you sure you don't want to operate yourself, Dr. Reid? I have the feeling you're very capable, and your colleagues seem to think so too.
In other circumstances, you would be right. But for now, I don't think I can take on the responsibility. My apologies.
Yeah, so it'll have to happen later, or I'll have to convince everybody else of what happened. Or not what happened, but what they can do to help him out.
Tell me about your injury, Harvey. Why do you feel so guilty about it?
My wife died because of me. And now I may lose everything because I've been careless enough to hurt myself. What an arsehole.
Your wife died?
How could your job be responsible for your wife's death?
I was working a double. She went out to bring me a hot meal and got caught in a German bomb raid.
Oh. Yeah, that is rough, buddy.
You can't hold yourself responsible for your injury, Mr. Fiddick. Unless you tried to hurt yourself.
Of course I didn't hurt myself. But I can't work until my arm is fixed. My children need to eat, Doctor.
Well, I can't help you out too much with the first issue, but we'll hopefully get you fixed up soon enough.
Tell me more about the death of your wife, Harvey.
1915. I was in the army, building workshops for the Royal Flying Corps. Helen was happy I wasn't sent to the front.
What happened?
The Germans sent Zeppelins to bomb the construction site, but they missed their target. My wife was bringing my dinner when the bombs fell.
I'm sorry for your loss. So many died during the bombings. I served in France and witnessed the carnage there.
I would like to say that she didn't suffer. Truth is, I have no idea. I just know that I'm all that me kids have. Poor little bleeders.
How are your children after losing their mother?
They were smaller then. The only good thing about this is my Ellen didn't bring them with her that night.
I suppose. Ooh, Harvey. We need to help you out, buddy. What is his medical checkup like? His blood's healthy, so good for him.
Goodbye for now, Mr. Fiddick. I'll see you later.
You always knew the words to calm the children, Ellen. As for me, what a blundering idiot.
You'll learn your way, man. You'll learn your way. We're gonna get you out of here.
Good evening. I'm Dr. Reid. Can I help at all?
No,
Really? Why are you here then?
I don't want to talk. My throat hurts too much.
I suppose that this pain is the reason you're here. Is someone taking care of you?
Yes. And no.
Could you at least tell me your name, sir?
Mortimer. Mortimer Goswick.
I see. Ooh, he's got fatigue. Treatment for fatigue. Cure with treatment for fatigue. That's funny. That's a pretty simple name.
Do you need any help?
I'm afraid I may, sir. I don't mean to be a burden.
I don't have medicine. I don't have medicine.
I will see you later. How painful is your throat, Mr. Goswick?
So painful I'd rather not talk at all, Doctor.
I'm sure you realize a doctor and his patient have to communicate, sir. Would it help if I gave you some paper and a pen?
Not really.
I see. Then maybe it's not just your throat that hurts, Mr. Goswick. Perhaps your sore throat is just the consequence of something more hurtful.
Yes, maybe. But I don't want to talk or even write about it now.
Dude, are you serious? It could help us out.
Tell me about yourself, Mr. Goswick.
I don't want to talk, Doctor.
Fine, fuck it then. Bye.
I have to go now, sir. But don't hesitate to contact me if you need any help.
I'm alright. Don't waste your time with me.
Alright, guess we'll have to deal with him later. But I actually wouldn't mind if we had a few more people just to go, I don't want to talk right now. Saves me some time. Hello.
Good evening, madam. Can I help you?
It's my son who needs you, sir.
I'm Dr. Jonathan Reid. How can I help your son?
I'm Beatrice Goswick, mother
Oh.
of Mortimer Goswick. Could you check on him, please, Dr. Reid? I've heard much of your talents as a physician.
Okay. I'm glad that he has a family member here.
What can you tell me about yourself, Mrs. Goswick?
Not much to say. Just take care of my Mortimer and I'll cover all the expenses. That's all that matters.
May I ask if you have an occupation, Mrs. Goswick?
I'm a teacher by profession. I teach young women who are more ambitious about their futures than their families.
Are you really that rich? Most of the patients here are of a more humble origin, if I may say so.
Yes, thanks to my husband. May he rest in peace. I can cover any needed medical expenses.
Well, that's good. It's good to have some emergency funds saved up.
What do you think of your reception here? Any complaints?
I have had the uttermost reservations about this hospital since we arrived. But we had no other choice, considering the state of emergency.
Is there something in particular that's bothering you?
Some of the staff were not especially welcoming. I suspect they're not accustomed to dealing with patients of such social standing.
What did you just give me a hint for? Beatrice questions the Pembroke Hospital's efficiency. Okay. Well, I mean, they are a little overworked, so yeah. Oh, look at that. I didn't see that it calls him Pillar. He's the pillar of the community? I wonder what happens if he dies.
Tell me more about your arrival at the Pembroke Hospital. What gave you such a bad first impression?
The ambulance driver was quite rude, for a start. And that nurse, Miss Hawkins, seems to have quite a dubious attitude.
What do you mean?
She managed to secure a bed for my son despite the epidemic. It was a relief, but it wasn't cheap.
She charged you?
She charged you for a bed?
Yes, and I paid without question, considering the urgency of the situation.
She bribed you to put your son in the bed, period? Wow. Usually you're supposed to save that kind of bribery for afterwards. Hey, we helped your son. You gotta pay a lot of money now.
I share your concern, Mrs. Goswick. Be sure that I'll talk to the people involved.
I don't expect compensation, Dr. Reid. But I'm aware such behavior would not be tolerated in other hospitals.
Yeah, no, don't worry. I'll deal with her.
Goodbye, Mrs. Goswick.
Alright, we gotta find the other nurses. Where is this lady? We have Crane here. I'm not sure where the other people I haven't chatted with are. I think this is the asshole, yep. I'm not gonna remember their names too well at first. I'm really bad with names, and so thankfully at least we have this. Waverly Ackroyd. Don't need to deal with you. I am looking for nurse. Nurse scumbag. Where is she? Is this a patient?
Good evening, miss. I'm Dr. Reid, the new surgeon at the Pembroke Hospital. And who are you?
Your name has no meaning to me, mortal. You're nothing but dust blown by the winds of eternity.
I beg your pardon?
What are you begging for, mortal? My clemency? Well, tonight maybe I'm inclined to mercy. You'll never forget the night you met Thelma Howcroft.
You keep calling me mortal. Why is that? And if I'm mortal, what are you?
Well, Dr. Reid, if you must know, I'm a vampire.
Oh, really? Okay, sure, Thelma. Pretty sure you're not a vampire, but it's interesting that you think of yourself that way.
Do you require my services, Miss Howcroft?
I have no need for your medicine, Dr. Reid. Blood is the only drug I need.
Yeah, I could get you some blood. There's plenty of it all around you. Let's see if we can press her for this issue.
And why do you believe you're a vampire?
I don't need to believe anything. It is what I am. It is what I feel within this hollow shell of flesh.
Right, and how do you feel?
Please, describe to me how you feel. What is it like to be a vampire?
I can hear my body crumble from the inside as my flesh cracks and fades. I sense the last pulse of postulant blood within my drying veins. I need new blood.
Well,
Do you require my services, Miss Howcroft?
I have no need.
I didn't mean
for
to press that.
medicine,
I actually meant to
Dr.
press the trigger, or not the
Blood
trigger.
It's the only drug I need.
No, yeah, the trigger. I wanted to see if she was healthy. Just reconfirm that kind of thing.
And why do you believe you're a vampire?
I don't need to believe anything. It is what I am. It is what I feel within this hollow shell of flesh.
I want to ask her about Cotard syndrome.
I see. Have you ever heard of Cotard syndrome?
Oh, Cotard's.
Never.
It's a mental illness discovered by a French neurologist named Jules Cotard. The affected patients are delusional. They believe that they are putrefying, that they are dead, a ghost or a ghoul, or in your case, a vampire.
Delusional, you say? Oh, sad and petty mortal. You can't even begin to understand the concept of immortality. And you think it is I who am delusional.
I mean, it's just ironic you're talking to a vampire and saying that you're a vampire. Thelma is affected by the Cotard's syndrome and believes she's a vampire. Alright, that unlocked an option for us. We can use our conversation abilities to maybe get her to say a little bit more.
I'm assuming you must be a patient here. Am I right, Miss Howcroft?
It's only a cover. To hide from my enemies. I can leave whenever I want. As a woman, a spirit, fog, or bat.
Really? Well, I wish I could turn into a bat, but I can only really turn into, like, the fog and teleport myself.
Who are these enemies you mentioned? Can you describe them?
I cannot say for sure. But I sense their eyes on me from nearby. I feel them watching me every time I visit the garden near the morgue.
The staff here are not your enemy. They're here to help you, to care for you.
I'm not speaking of the doctors in white. I'm speaking of the men and women who hunt me. For I am a vampire.
I see. Don't worry. These people will not find you here. I'll personally make sure they leave you alone.
Thank you, mortal. But do not interfere with them, for you are no match for those that hunt me.
I had to kill a whole bunch of them already, so I don't know what you're talking about. But I'll deal with them. That's actually an investigation. Wow.
Who are you really, Miss Howcroft? I mean, apart from being a vampire.
Is that not enough for you, puny mortal? What do you require? Proof of my powers?
I'm curious to know who you were before becoming a vampire.
No, it was such a long time ago, I don't remember. Centuries of unholy life can have strange effects on one's minds, you see?
Yeah, or, you know, if you were an actual vampire, maybe you wouldn't really have to worry about those things. I can't actually press her for that. Maybe I have to go and find whoever is in her social circle. Okay. Farewell.
I'll leave you, Mistress of the Dark, to your nocturnal activities.
Mistress of the Dark. I'm glad he came up with that pretty much right there. Nurses are needed. In the name of mercy, they depend on you. Nurses are needed now. Inquire at the nearest appointments office of the Ministry of Labor and National Service, or write to 15 Kingsway, London. Alright. Wasn't expecting to write in a person who claims to be a vampire.
Good evening, sir. Can I help you?
Unless you're here to fix my face. No. I don't think you can help me.
I'm Dr. Reid. I've recently taken the position of head surgeon here. War injuries, am I right?
You guessed right, Doctor. German shell took my pretty little mug right off. But they still call me Thomas Elwood.
Okay, how's your stay with us?
How is your stay with us, Mr. Elwood?
Oh, it's bliss. I just escaped death in the trenches to be surrounded again by the moans of the dying.
Can I ask you precisely why you're a patient here?
It's the pain, sir. The drugs don't work. It just hurts under the scars, if you get my drift.
What is his medical treatment? Oh, well, he's healthy. I don't know how much I can really trust that.
Can I do anything for your pain?
Nurses gave me a bunch of pills. No effect. Told you. It's like the flames are under my skin, burning away.
That could be a different kind of sickness.
Who is treating you? Is someone in particular looking after your case?
Nobody since the old and tired doctor spoke to me. Started to think I was forgotten about. Won't blame you.
You don't seem worried by that.
My face hurts so much more when I smile or cry. I've learned it's easier not to speak. But be assured I'm smiling inside.
Okay, that's morbid. Don't worry, I'm smiling inside. I can't. Oh gosh. This guy's a part of Miss Hawcroft's social circle? What? I'll ask him about that later.
Where were you stationed, sir? Did you serve for long?
I really don't want to talk about all this shit.
No offense. I was pushing too much. I served in France myself. I just wanted to know what happened to you.
You were an officer, weren't you? Then I doubt we fought the same war, sir. No offense.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. Although I did, I think, have to do a little bit of fighting and also saving of lives. So that's kind of a heavy field itself.
How close are you to Miss Hawcroft? Are you aware that she thinks she is a vampire?
To wait for her next nibble is the best reason to stay here. Every time she approaches my bed, she treats me like something tasty. A normal person.
Aren't you afraid? She may hurt you if the game goes too far.
She's quite harmless, I can assure you. Her head's broken inside is all. While I'm busted on the outside. But she's still beautiful. Living proof that there's hope for me.
All right, Thomas. Thomas sees Thelma Howcroft as living proof that there is hope for him. How much do you really want to be bitten by her?
So do you let her bite you? You know that's not sanitary.
And why not? She's only supping a few drops of me blood. And the pain, it's real for once.
She could decide to bite less willing patients.
Then it's another good reason for me to stay here, Doctor.
Yeah, with such a readily available source of blood, why would she go for somebody else?
You do realize she's mentally disturbed. It's called the Cotard syndrome. She truly believes she's a vampire.
In her madness, she never refers to my scars. And frankly, if I could, I'd join her world. It seems much more fun than the real one.
Well, besides the fact that she thinks she's being hunted and probably lives in a good bit of fear.
Goodbye for now, Mr. Elwood.
Damn. The pain. It's here again.
Sorry, sir. I need to go have a chat with her. Hawcroft, over here.
Good evening, Miss Howcroft. How are you tonight?
I need blood, Doctor. Warm, rich, vibrant blood.
So how about you and Thomas?
Tell me, Thelma, why do you feel so attached to Mr. Elwood? Why him?
I'm not sure, Doctor. I think we have a bond of some sort. We've both suffered so much. He's the only mortal I find interesting.
Wow. Are you romantically involved? Yeah, I guess we can ask that
Do you
directly.
plan to make him a vampire too?
Of course not. How could I inflict my curse on anybody else? I'm not that cruel, Doctor.
You realize that, you know, in general lore, if you drink from somebody, they're supposed to become a vampire, or they have a chance to become a vampire. Sometimes they just die.
Would you say you and Mr. Elwood are romantically involved?
No. No, Thomas is a delicate soul. Even though he disguises it. But I am not the woman he needs. No, for I am a vampire, Doctor.
Interesting that you think that. Maybe I can get both of you
I'll leave you, Mistress of the Dark.
the kind of help that
to
you
your
both need.
nocturnal activities.
But not now. It would have to be something for later.
Disgust on every street corner.
How many other people do we have to talk to? There's Hampton. Hey, buddy.
Good evening, Mr. Hampton. How do you feel?
Dr. Reid, is it? Oh, sir, I must apologize for my behavior.
What do you mean?
I was not myself in the factory. Fear and exhaustion made me say awful things to you, I'm afraid.
You remained perfectly nice and polite. A little delirious, perhaps. But who wouldn't be after enduring an abduction?
Thank you, Doctor. That's a relief. Now all I need to do is rest and return to my flock.
Oh, well, tell me about yourself, buddy.
How did you end up in William Bishop's den?
I had received alarming news about his recent behavior. I went to his place and he refused to let me go.
Why did he abduct you?
William was an alcoholic. His addiction suddenly changed to blood. I don't know why. Just like a patient I met here. This Miss Hawcroft.
Yeah, except he was the real deal, whereas she might just be loopy.
You dared to enter this awful place alone. You're a hero, Mr. Hampton. Or a fool.
I'm just a man trying to help his friends, Dr. Reid. William Bishop was a conflicted soul, searching for light.
Well, you know, I'm glad you felt that way. I'm sad that we weren't able to help him, but he was just a little bit too crazy.
Do you know Tom Watts, the bartender from the Turtle? I met him before I found you in the canning factory.
Tom? Yes, of course. Always the helping hand, good old Tom. Without men like him, corruption and despair would have wiped out the East End long ago.
Corruption?
Who should I avoid in this part of town, then? Any particularly evil figures?
Not really. Most men and women are just doing their best. And it's not my habit to speak ill of people I know, Doctor.
Unless, you know, if someone was really, really evil. There might be someone who's, like, running a gang. It'd be good to know about them so I could avoid them or deal with them in my own way.
People are still in despair.
How could it be otherwise? The authorities have left us all to rot in this contagious nightmare. No drugs, no advice, nothing. It's a damn shame.
Alright. Well, I mean, I'm hoping that I can sanitize everybody's blood, so we're gonna deal with the situations.
What is the general situation in the East End docks?
The situation has always been tough, with a lot of tensions between the gangs and the dockers' trade union. The wet boot boys are very nervous since they lost their leader.
Oh, there's the gang.
Who leads the gang now?
Since Clay Cox went missing, it's his wife Edwina who runs the show, with the assistance of her minion, Booth Digby.
Wait, Clay Cox? Oh, shit.
Has the gang been threatening you?
Ah, no. I've had this nickname for so long, you know, the sad saint of the East End. No one dares to bug a saint, not even criminals.
Maybe I should have had a drink of his blood. But maybe, because we helped him out, he'll be a little bit more helpful in the future and not be like, oh, I run a gang, you're gonna die.
Have you made friends since you arrived?
Not really, but I recognize Miss Harriet Jones. I knew her when she lived by the docks. That poor woman had such a miserable life.
You never came to see her here at Pembroke. Receiving visits when sick can be an important part of the healing process, you know. We're not just bodies.
You're preaching to the converted now, Doctor. To be truly honest, I thought she was dead. She left the docks many months ago.
Well, I mean, at least you know a little bit better now.
What do you do for a living, Mr. Hampton? I can't help but notice the cross around your neck.
I manage a night asylum for the poor and homeless of the docks, and I try to guide the lost and hesitant on the right path to our Lord.
Well, you know, I'm glad that your cross does not, like, disable me in the way that the head doctor's does.
Are you a priest, Mr. Hampton? A deacon, maybe?
Not at all, Doctor. I'm just a man of faith willing to preach the good word.
So you're not like an officially sanctioned kind of priest. You're just like, I just like talking about the Lord. That's really it. I'm a man of faith. I guess that's all you really need sometimes.
Why didn't you use your cross against William Bishop? To repel him somehow?
That's a very strange question, Doctor. A cross is no magical token, if that's what you were trying to say. Not mine, anyway.
Did we arouse a little bit of suspicion by just asking that? Yeah, I was thinking about it. I'm like, why doesn't his cross just naturally repel us? Because the other guy's cross didn't deactivate or didn't stop repelling us until he put it face down. He's just wearing that.
How do you feel, Mr. Hampton? Medically speaking, I mean.
I feel exhausted. Beyond exhaustion, actually. William drank so much of my blood in his madness. I feel empty.
You're in good hands here. Dr. Swansea is well versed in blood transfusion, and I'm sure he'll take the best care of you.
Thank you, sir. I believe all I need is rest, and then I can go back to the people who need me.
Well, stay here for as long as you need to.
Goodbye,
Heading
Mr.
out.
Hampton. We'll talk again later.
All right. How many more people remain in here? Because I need to go. All right. We need to go talk to Gwyneth and then find these other 4 people. Jeez. This is a long section. I apologize to the people who are like, I hate when players talk to every character in the video game so they can do everything in the video game. But this is what we're doing. I do wish this had been a little bit more spaced out because I would have liked to have had a little bit more action, see a little bit more of my abilities before taking like an hour to talk to every single person. But oh well.
Scowl voices in the garden.
Oh shit.
I should investigate. If they were to find somebody.
I should probably deal with that. I tried to use my ability, but I didn't have blood. Oops. Okay. I messed up there. Hold on, I'm backing away. There we go. I was trying to use my offhand weapon. Oh, Jesus. I wanted to use my offhand weapon so I could stun him, but I was using my axe, and I forgot about that. Oh, shit. Alright. This is bad. I keep pressing a whole bunch of different buttons rather than the ones I need to. Like, I press A to dodge. And that is not, oh god, what I'm supposed to do. Jesus Christ. Maybe when he puts up his arm, I should pull out a different weapon? Like a gun of some sort? Alright, let's just kill him. Where are you going, friend? He just... I guess we pulled him too far away from his, the area that he spawned. I just want more blood. How? Seriously? I figured he was gonna be one hit away from death. Okay. I got a little bit of action there. I think there's more skulls around here. Hello. I must kill you. This is to keep the people here safe. Okay, alright, backing off, backing off. Need to get stamina. Now with two of these guys here, it might be pretty risky. We're gonna pull out my, oh. We don't have my gun equipped? Oh, wow. I didn't realize that the main hand weapon replaces the second slot of offhand. Alright. There. Now these guys are level 6 and 7. So I'm more than happy to just use other weapons and other abilities on them. Oh boy. It would explain, oh no! Why they're doing so much damage to me as well. Hold on, hold on, hold on. Oh jeez, it takes a long time to reload. There. Oh my god, he blocked the shotgun bullet! Didn't expect that. Okay. Oh my god, am I gonna die? No! Oh shit, I was out of stamina. Wow. There's my first death in the game. I died in a really stupid way. Ah, shit. I ran out of stamina and I couldn't dodge. How far is that gonna set me? I'm not sure. But we still have 1,395 experience, so I guess it didn't really set me back that much. I basically just died and respawned at the beginning of the area again. Okay. Well, you know what? I actually do have to go. I'm 30 minutes... I was supposed to leave 30 minutes ago, but I've been fucking trying to talk to everybody because I was like, I'm gonna talk to everybody and then take a break. And then we still haven't finished talking to people because holy shit. But we're gonna take a break now. So that way I can properly go off and talk to the people without being in a rush and being really annoyed about all that stuff. So, be right back.